Let us start with note point number 8. In this note point, we are going to discuss ratio in which a line divides a segment and position of 2 points with respect to a line. Let me begin the discussion with ratio in which the line divides a segment. Now, ideally, whenever in a sum we are asked to find ratio, then we will assume the ratio as k is to 1. Okay. So, if in a sum we want to find ratio, then we assume ratio as k is to 1. Now, we all know that there are two types of section formula available. One is internal section formula and one is external section formula. So here, whether it is internal or external depends on what. So what we do here is, since we are assuming, we assume the ratio k is to 1 internally and solve the sum. Now, we can have two values of k possible. If k is positive, then our assumption is correct, that is internally division. Okay. But if k is negative, then it implies externally. Okay. That means the point divides externally. So basically the value of k will decide the ratio. Okay. So I repeat again. If in a sum we are asked to find ratio, then we assume the ratio as k is to 1. We solve by section formula. At the end we get the value of k. If the value of k is positive, then it means internally, and if the value of k is negative, then it means externally. Okay. So this is the theoretical style. Okay. Now what about MCQ? Now this is where there is one simple shortcut available, which is actually the extension of this process only. Okay. In the question, they will give us 2 points. Let us say a x1 y1 and b x2 y2. Okay. And here a line, let's say its equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0 divides. Okay. And we want to find the ratio. So here we go for a shortcut which goes like this: ratio is equal to minus of, okay, what we do it is take the first point and substitute in the equation. So I get ax1 plus by1 plus c. Now take the second point and substitute in the equation to get denominator. So we get ax2 plus by2 plus c. So that is how we get the ratio. Okay. Please do not forget, here we are supposed to write minus sign. Okay. So this is what we basically do if the question is based on ratio. Okay. To explain to you this in very easily, I'll take a sum. Okay. The question, let's say, find the ratio in which a line segment joining a bracket 1 comma 2 and b bracket minus 3 comma 4 is divided by a line x plus y minus 5 equal to 0. Okay. So here if you see the sum, the key word is find the ratio. As I said, whenever in a sum we are asked to find the ratio, let's start the solution. I'll say let line divides segment internally in the ratio k is to 1. Okay, so what I do here is I'll draw a rough diagram where I take point A whose coordinate is 1 comma 2. Here I take B, the coordinate is minus 3 comma 4, and who divides? A line divides. Okay, whose equation is x plus y minus 5 equal to 0. So what we do is we take the point P, the ratio is k is to 1. As all know, how do we apply section formula? K goes to point B, 1 goes to point A. So can I say by section formula? Okay, let's go for the section formula. Can I say, let's take the coordinate of P as h comma k or x comma y. Let's take x comma y. So x is equal to k. Let me take h, that would be better. So h is equivalent to let us take the coordinate as x1 y1. Okay, so here we take the point P, x1 y1. Fine. So x1 is equal to, can I say k into minus 3 plus 1 into 1 upon k plus 1, and y1 is equal to k into 4 plus 1 into 2 upon k plus 1. So what I get, x1 is equal to minus 3k plus 1 upon k plus 1. Y1 is equal to 4k plus 2 upon k plus 1. So what I got here is the coordinates of point P, okay, which is minus 3k plus 1 upon k plus 1, here comma 4k plus 2 upon k plus 1. Now here we have not got k, we got just the coordinates in terms of k. So I need one more condition. In diagram, if you see, is it not point P lies on the line? So what we can say here is P lies on x plus y minus 5 equal to 0, and if a point lies, it must satisfy. So it must satisfy the equation. So therefore, in place of x, we can put minus 3k plus 1 upon k plus 1. In place of y, we can put 4k plus 2 upon k plus 1. Okay, minus 5 is equal to 0. Let me take the LCM. So I get minus 3k plus 1 plus 4k plus 2 minus 5 bracket k plus 1 equal to 0. So what I get, minus 3k plus 1 plus 4k plus 2 minus 5k minus 5 is equal to 0. So what I get here is minus 4k and 2 plus 1 3. 3 minus 5 is minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore k is equal to minus 2 by 4. So what I get, k as minus 1 by 2. As I said, this negative sign implies externally. Okay, so can I say this implies the line divides segment AB externally in the ratio k is to 1. So here I write 1 by 2 is to 1. Okay, that is 1 is to 2. Now you might argue, sir, why not minus sign? As I said, there is nothing to do with negative sign in ratio. That negative sign basically implies externally. So while writing the final answer, okay, we should avoid taking up the negative sign in the solution. Okay, also to get coordinate of the point of division, to get coordinate of P, we substitute k in P. Okay, now since they have not asked in the sum, so we will not waste time finding coordinate of point P. Okay, so this is how we do the concept of finding ratio in theoretical style. Okay, now let's say if I want to solve the same sum in MCQ. Okay, so there what we start is A, B, coordinate of A will take it as, which is given in the sum as 1 comma 2. Coordinate of B is minus 3 comma 4, and equation of line is x plus y minus 5 equal to 0. Now here what we do is we directly start with ratio is equal to minus of, let us take the point and substitute in the equation. Okay, so in the numerator what we get is, in place of x we put 1, in place of y we put 2 minus 5. In denominator, in place of x we put 3, in place of y we put 4 minus 5. So what I get is minus of, what I get is 3 minus 5 upon 1 minus 5. Okay, so if you see, what I get here is minus of 2 upon minus 4. The end result is minus 1 by 2. So we got the same result. So can I say this implies externally in the ratio 1 is to 2. So it's a very fast technique. Okay. So in MCQ, generally they will ask you to find the ratio. So we can use this technique. You can expect one more question on this. Here, the if the line 2x minus 3y plus lambda is equal to 0 divides the line joining segment joining points a bracket minus 1 comma 2 and b bracket 3 comma minus 3 internally in the ratio 2 is to 3, then find lambda. It is one of the important sum which you can expect in CET. Okay, so here what basically is in the sum, I can see the keyword is ratio 2 is to 3. Ratio is given. Okay, so in the solution, let us directly start with the diagram. The coordinate of A is minus 1 comma 2. The coordinate of B is 3 comma minus 3. And the equation of line given as 2x minus 3y plus lambda is equal to 0. Now when I say since line divides segment internally, okay, since the line divides the segment internally, okay, in the ratio 2 is to 3, in the ratio 2 is to 3, okay, we will find the ratio using the shortcut. So the ratio is, it is 2 is to 3 is equal to minus of, let us take the coordinate of the point and substitute in the equation. So 2 into minus 1 minus 3 into 2 plus lambda. Let's take the second point and substitute in the equation. So what we get is 2 into 3 minus 3 into minus 3 plus lambda. In this sum, they have given us the ratio 2 is to 3. So in place of ratio, we put 2 by 3 minus of, what I get, minus 2 minus 3 to the 6 plus lambda upon 3 to the 6, 3 is a 9 plus lambda. So what I get, 2 by 3 is equal to minus of lambda minus 8 upon lambda plus 15. Let's do one thing, let's cross multiply. What I get is 2 lambda plus 30. If I take minus inside, I get minus 3 lambda plus 8 3s are 24. If I adjust the term, what I get is 5 lambda is equal to 30 on that side, I get minus 6. So the value of lambda is equal to minus 6 by 5. Okay, so let us recheck the calculation. Okay, the coordinate of point is minus 1 comma 2, 3 comma minus 3, and we have substituted in the coordinate point. So this is how we do the question in which the ratio is given. Now you can expect one more sum on this, where instead of giving the ratio, they will just specify internally or externally. Okay, So let me explain you with one more example. Find the range of lambda if a line 2x plus y minus lambda equal to 0 divides segment AB externally, where A is minus 1 1 and B is 2 comma 3. Okay, so in this sum you can see two major changes here. One, they don't want lambda, they want range of lambda, and secondly they are talking of externally. Okay, so what we do is, again in the solution, let's start with the diagram. Here we have point A minus 1 1, we have B 2 comma 3, and line. The line is 2x plus y minus lambda equal to 0. Let's do one thing. Let's first find the ratio. Okay, it's a rough diagram, so I'm just showing it internally. Okay, so the ratio is equal to minus of, let's take the point and substitute, 2 into minus 1 plus 1 minus lambda upon 2 into 2 plus 3 minus lambda. So what I get here is minus of, I get minus 2 plus 1 minus lambda, 4 plus 3 minus lambda. Okay, so if I write minus of is not here, I get minus 1 minus lambda upon 7 minus lambda. Let's do one thing. I take minus common. Okay, and here also I take minus common. So what I get is minus of lambda plus 1 upon lambda minus 7. Okay, now in this sum they have not given us the ratio, but they said that a line divides externally. So can I say, since line divides externally, can I say the ratio has to be positive or negative? So it has to be negative. And how we show mathematically negative? Can I say it is less than 0? This is very important thing to note here. Okay, we already got the ratio minus of lambda plus 1 upon lambda minus 7 should be less than 0. And as we always know that algebraic inequation implies wavy curve method. Okay, so here we think of 5 steps of wavy curve. Okay, where if you see, the first step is to have 0 on the right hand side and factor on LHS, which we have it. The second step, where we make sure the coefficient of y is positive, which is already there, but there is a minus sign. So if I neglect negative sign, the inequality reverts. Okay, fine. So inequality changes. Then after that, what we do it is we get the critical value and show on the number line. Okay, so it is minus infinity to plus infinity. The critical values are 7 and minus 1. Now from here we start, we write positive, then we write negative, then we write positive. Now what we are looking for is greater than 0, and greater than 0 implies positive. So we are looking for a positive region. So these are the positive region. Therefore, can I say lambda belongs to minus infinity to minus 1, okay, open interval, 7 to infinity, open interval, and union. Okay, so that is how we got this particular result. So in this type of sum, I repeat, what you need to understand is internally ratio not given, and externally, these are the two concepts given. If it is internally, can I say ratio greater than 0? If it is externally, can I say ratio less than 0? Okay, so these are the two things which you should keep in mind. And on top of it, to simplify, you need to be good in wavy curve method. Okay, so that was all about ratio given and ratio required. Okay, now we move on to the second part of the note point, that is position of 2 points with respect to a line. Now when I say position of 2 points with respect to a line, okay, there are two possibilities. Actually, they are speaking there are three possibility, but technically, question wise, you can have two possibility. Points are on opposite side of line, or the points are on same side of line. Okay, so keyword here is opposite side or the same side. Okay, now let's think of a diagram. When I say the points are on opposite side of the line, is it not, if I think of a segment AB, the line would be somewhere here in between. Okay, and we can see that the line divides segment AB internally. Okay, so can I say the points on opposite side implies internally? So opposite side, this word if you find, implies internally. And just now we discussed that internally implies ratio greater than 0. So actually speaking, this is indirectly connected to the concept of ratio. Okay, so likewise, when I see the points are on same side of line, let's say we have a segment AB and the line divides AB externally. Okay, so this is where we say line divides segment AB externally. Okay, so here I'm writing it. Okay, can I say same side implies externally, and externally implies ratio negative. Okay, so the question which we did just now can be asked in this way. Rather than saying internally, externally, they will say the points are on the same side or the opposite side. Okay, so to make you understand this, let me take one more small example here. If 2 comma minus 1 and 3 comma 4 are on same side of 3x minus 4y plus lambda is equal to 0. Okay, then find lambda. Okay, if you see, it is similar to the question we just now did. There I directly said externally, here I am saying they are on the same side. Okay, so here what I do is I think of ratio. Okay, and for that we draw a rough diagram here. Okay, you have a point A 2 comma minus 1, you have point B 3 comma 4, and the equation of line is 3x minus 4y plus lambda is equal to 0. Now can I say, since line divide, I start with point position of the point first, points are on same side, can I say this implies line divides externally. Okay, and therefore can I say ratio will be less than 0. Now the shortcut of ratio is what? Minus of, let us take the point and substitute in the equation. 4 into minus 1 plus lambda upon 3 into 3, 4 into 4 plus lambda less than 0. Let us simplify. 3 2s are 6 plus 4, so it is 10 plus lambda. 3 3s are 9 minus 16. Okay, which is minus 7 plus lambda less than 0. I simply revert this lambda plus 10 upon lambda minus 7 less than 0. Okay, if I neglect negative sign, the inequality changes. So lambda plus 10, lambda minus 7 greater than 0 again. Okay, now let me show it on the number line, minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, this gives me minus 10, this gives me 7, positive, negative, positive. Again I'm looking for greater than 0. Okay, so I write here greater than 0 implies positive. Fine, so I need positive region, so this is my required region. So can I say again, lambda belongs to minus infinity to minus 10, open interval, union 7 to infinity. Okay, so this is where we come to the end of this note point, where we have studied that if the question is based on ratio, then what to do. Okay, and secondly, how to discuss the position of a point with respect to line.